When an artist begins to draw, he will usually start with a sketch to kind of work out where he's going to place his final marks on the paper. And this kind of starts as a blueprint as he works out his masterpiece, or his final plan to draw what he plans to draw, which he envisions in his mind. And all of this happens in the grandeur of the artist's intellect and in his use of his free will to act as someone created in the image and likeness of God. As we look at the Old Testament, we realize the covenants which preceded the new eternal covenant are in some way a sketch of the living God who planned or laid the foundation for the coming of his Son as he prepared them with the laws, altars, and sacrifices. The living God was leading them into divine worship in contrast to all the other idol worship going on around them. This is the reality of us worshiping in the new covenant today. There's a lot of idol worship around us. And St. Paul mentions that it was necessary for the sketches of the heavenly things to be purified by these rites. He notes that the heavenly things themselves needed better sacrifices than these. To really hone in on his point, he mentions if the blood of goats and bulls, with the sprinkling of the ashes of heifers, sanctifies those who have been defiled, so the flesh is purified, how much more will the blood of Christ, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without blemish to God, purifying our conscience from dead works to worship the living God. For in the Old Testament, it was not the blood of bulls and goats that purified their conscience from sins, but it was the activity of God who encountered them in their contrite hearts, where the mercy of God was experienced, and they learned the depths of God's love. And these sacrifices were ultimately to prepare them for the one sacrifice that truly does take away sins, and to no longer bring an animal, but to offer our bodies as a holy and living sacrifice, where we immerse ourselves in prayer and good works for the salvation of all, just as our Lord did.